Good day everyone, I am Laravel from BS Ed English 2, and in this video we will tackle the children of Zeus. Have you ever wondered how many children does Zeus have? Okay, first we have Aphrodite, is the goddess of love, beauty, and pleasure, characterized as weak, frightened, ill-tempered, and according to Greek mythology, Aphrodite is lustful. Aphrodite helps mortal with daunting task. Next is Apollo, the god of archery, music, healing, god of truth, and prophecy. Apollo characterized as athletic, immortal, and a powerful god. He established the Oracle of Delphi. Next, we have Ares, the god of war, characterized as brave, strong, impulsive, and bloodthirsty. And Ares plays an important role in the Trojan War. Next to Ares is we have Athena, the goddess of wisdom, courage, and craft, characterized as intelligent, reasoned, and emotional, and a warrior. The city of Athens was built in honor of Athena. Next to Athena, we have Helen, the most beautiful woman in the world of mortal, characterized as loyal and charming. Helen was the face that launched 1,000 ships. Next to Helen, we have Artemis, the goddess of hunt, characterized as brave, trustworthy, caring, and noble. The temple built for her became one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, which was the Ephesus. Next to Artemis, we have Persephone, the queen of the underworld, characterized as graceful and considerate and lustily innocent. And according to Greek mythology, Persephone and with her mother Demeter was the reason why there are seasons. And lastly, we have Hermes as the herald or the messenger of the gods, characterized as clever and wise. The god of Hermes was the god behind the Hermoia, a festival thrown in honor of Hermes.
Welcome everyone. In this juncture, we will talk about some of the famous demigod and goddesses in Greek mythology. So a demigod is a minor deity, a mortal or immortal who is the offspring of a god and a human, or even a figure who has attained divine status after death. Figuratively, it is used to describe a person whose talents or abilities are so superlative that they appear to approach being divine. So for our first demigod, Greek mythology demigod named Aeneas. So Aeneas is a survivor of the siege of Troy, a city in the coast of Asia Minor. So his defining characteristic is a piety, a respect to the will of the gods. He is a fearsome warrior and a leader able to motivate his men in the face of adversity, but also a man capable of great compassion and sorrow. Aeneas is the embodiment of the Roman virtues. He is the dutiful servant of faith and of the gods. He is an exemplary leader of his people, and he is a devoted father and son. He also demonstrates appropriate pieties like devotion to one's family, country, and mission. Aeneas is a Trojan hero in both Greek and Roman mythology. Though he is more prominent in the Roman tales, his origin story is told in the Homeric hymn to Aphrodite. Aeneas plays a small role in Homer's The Iliad. He is the primary lieutenant of Hector as well as the leader of the Dardanians, who are the allies of the Trojans. Next is demigod Hercules. So Hercules is regarded as one of the greatest ancient Greek heroes of all time. He was born as the Greek demigod, son of Zeus and the mortal Alchemy. So Hercules married Hebe, the goddess of youth, after attaining the godhood. His original counterpart is Heracles, which means glory of Hera. So, in the Greek myths, Hercules displays a mixed personality. Generally, a good hero, noted for his strength and bravery. He also has seen suffering from wanton rages and excessive self-confidence. Next, we have here demi-goddess named Hippolyta. Hippolyta was the queen of the tribe of the Amazons in Greek mythology. She played a significant role in the 12 labors of Hercules. So she was the daughter of the god of war, Ares, who has given her a magical girdle as a gift. Hippolyta is a mythical figure of ancient Greek and Roman myths. A fierce and fearsome Amazonian warrior, her fighting abilities are of legendary nature. A demigod, this Hippolyta was mostly famous for her magical belt or girdle in some cases, which was given to her by her father, Ares, the god of war. So the belt in Greekly Hippolyta's physical strength and prowess in the battle, and served as a symbol of her authority as a queen. Next, we have demigod Orpheus. Orpheus is an ancient Greek legendary hero endowed with superhuman musical skills. He became the patron of the religious movement based on the sacred writings said to be his own. So when Orpheus makes his journey to the underworld, the meaning of his myth seems at first to become clearer. He represents the power of love and the power of art to overcome death. So, we have next demigod Perseus. So, Perseus in Greek mythology is a slayer of the Gorgon Medusa and the rescuer of Andromeda from the sea monster. He was a Greek mythological demigod. He fell in love with Andromeda and asked for her as his wife. He was in charge of watching over the welfare of the good ones. For this reason, he offered honor to the gods all the time. His humility and sensitivity were an example for many men who lived in that time. Perseus demonstrates the qualities of an epic hero since he is courageous, virtuous, protective, intelligent, compassionate, and is willing to sacrifice himself. Next, we have demigod Orion. So, according to Greek mythology, Orion was the greatest hunter of all times. Poseidon granted him the power to walk across the sea without drowning. Orion was very vain and boasted that he could beat any animal on earth. Orion was very strong and stately and had a body of gigantic proportion. He usually carried an unbreakable bronze club which he used to kill the animals. So, for our next demigod, we will talk about Theseus. Theseus was the son of King Aegeus of Athens. Theseus grew up separately from his father, who had taken up with the magical Miriam. So Theseus as merry adventures around the gates of the underworld and slaying the monstrous Cretan bull, giving him handy career experience later. Eventually ended up in Athens and was recognized by his own father as the heir when he showed his sword and the sandals, retrieved under the rock where Argeus his father hidden it when he left Aethria. So, Theseus is a handsome, vigorous, young, armed with a sword. Theseus' strength was being brave, strong, clever, good with disguise. And Theseus' weaknesses are may have been a bit deceptive with Ariadne and being also forgetful. Next, we have demigod Minos. So, in Greek mythology, Minos was a king of Crete, son of Zeus and Europa. Every 9 years, he made King Aegeus pick 7 young boys and 7 young girls to be sent to Daedalus' creation, the labyrinth, to be eaten by the Minotaur. So he was famous of creating a successful code of laws. In fact, it was so grand that after his death, Minos became one of the 3 judges in the dead in the underworld. According to legend, Minos was a mighty king and a great warrior. Next, we have a demigoddess named Helen. So in Greek legend, goddess Helen was the most beautiful woman in Greece and the indirect cause of the Trojan War. Helen was the goddess of beauty and perfection, and also she is the former monarch. According to the ancient tragedian Euripides, Helen was a frivolous woman and deliberately unfaithful. Helen resembles the immortal goddesses in her appearance and was called the most beautiful woman in the world by goddess Aphrodite. The ancient Greek poet Homer depicts Helen in the Iliad as a fair-faced and a beautifully dressed woman. However, Helen described herself as a dog-eyed, which means Canopus in ancient Greek. So we are down now in our last demigoddess named Brito Martis. So in Greek mythology, a Cretan goddess, a daughter of Zeus and Carne, named Brito Martis, was a virgin goddess of hunting, fishing, and fowling nets. Brito Martis' name means sweet maiden from the ancient Greek words from Britus and Martis. She was also known as Dictina, which means the lady of the nets. Brito Martis depicted with a fierce face, sometimes reminiscent of a gorgon. She holds snakes and may suckle griffins. She is considered to be the sea goddess, patroness of hunters, fishermen, and sailors, and she also was a goddess of birth and chastity.